Hushamdeed. Hushamdeed. Welcome to the land of biochemistry. Land of biochemistry. So we discussed the overview of energy metabolism in the well-fed state. I want to ask some questions now. What is the main hormone responsible for the well-fed state? Which hormone is most important in the well-fed state? Insulin. Why? Because insulin opens the glucose transporters. Glucose transporters work under the influence of insulin. This is important. Which hormone is important in the well-fed state? Insulin. Because it lowers glucose level. So all the glucose that is present in the blood, that is going to go into the cells under the influence of insulin. If there is no insulin, the insulin will remain in the blood and nothing will go to the cells. And the cells will be starving, in fact. Now, that is one thing. First point, note it down. Second point, where do glycogenesis take place? Liver. Yes. Where does the fatty acid synthesis take place? Liver. Where does the cholesterol synthesis take place? Liver. Where does the fat is formed? Two places. One place, adipose tissue. Other place, liver. Right? But liver export all of its fat in which form? VLDL. Dietary lipids come in the blood in which form? Chylomicrons. Protein synthesis takes place where? Mostly in muscles. Glycogenesis also takes place where? Muscles. Anaerobic glycolysis takes place where? In under all conditions? The thing that does not have mitochondria, I mean red blood cells. Okay, whether we have oxygen or we don't have oxygen, anaerobic glycolysis is going to take place only in one type of cell, and that is the red blood cells, because it lacks mitochondria. So, actually, by studying this well-fed state, we now know liver is the main site. And as I explained, four things are going to happen with the liver that enters to the liver. First, it will meet the energy requirements of the hepatocytes. Fine? Huh? Hey? Energy requirements. Once the energy requirements are met, extra glucose is going to make glycogen. Once the glycogen stores are full, but still glucose is entering into the cell, that glucose which is entering into the cell is going to make acetyl-CoA, but acetyl-CoA doesn't go to the Krebs cycle now to produce carbon dioxide and then to the electron transport chain to produce ATP, but the extra acetyl-CoA will make fatty acid and cholesterol. Okay, so extra glucose that is taken up by the liver is converted into cholesterol and fatty acid, and that fatty acid doesn't remain in the liver. If it remains in the liver, that will cause fatty liver. That is a bad thing. We'll study how. Fine. So fatty acid is produced in the liver, but it does not remain in the liver. It is transported out of the liver by combining with glycerol to make fat, and then that fat is exported out of the liver in the form of VLDL. Okay? We clear? Fine. So this is important to understand. And which tissue or organ is taking only glucose? Brain. Brain is living on glucose. If glucose is not available to brain is going to shut down. A man can go to coma as well. These are the concepts. I hope you understand. Really? Now we see what is going to happen in the starving state. Just look over this thing, I just want you to just remember it. It should be in your blood all the time. Oh, well, glucose is entering into the liver. What is going to make? Oh, it will complete the energy requirement. One, then it is going to make glycogen. Oh, right. Two things are, fulfilled. What else? Fatty acids. Fine. Fourth thing, cholesterol. And cholesterol is important for what? Cholesterol is not bad thing. It's good thing because cholesterol make bile acids. What are the names of the bile acid? Note down. Chinocolic acid, not pinocolic acid. Chinocolic acid, cholic acid, lithocolic acid, deoxycholic acid. These are the bile acids. Fine. They make bile salts as well. And they are important for emulsification of fats in the duodenum. Right? Yep. Important. Cholesterol is also responsible for making vitamin D. Cholesterol is also responsible for making vitamin D. Cholesterol is also responsible for making steroid hormones. And cholesterol is important for maintaining membrane fluidity. Okay? So this should be remembered. If someone asks you what are the functions of the cholesterol is not a bad thing. Why cholesterol is not bad? There are 4 things, most essential things. Vitamin D, bile acids, membrane fluidity, and steroid hormones. Right? All these things are formed from cholesterol. And where is cholesterol synthesized? In the body? Liver. Where are fatty acids synthesized in the body? Liver. So we say that endogenous cholesterol and endogenous fatty acids, even if we don't take a drop of cholesterol or fatty acid in the diet, still liver will be able to produce sufficient cholesterol and fatty acids itself. Right? If you don't take in any oil, grease in your diet, liver will still manage to produce sufficient cholesterol and fatty acids from glucose. Right? So carbohydrate. And what is the fate of amino acid? Urea. All these things are here in this page. So just understanding, this is artistic thing. Okay, someone is making something, beautiful picture. Wow. But this picture has a meaning, and the best thing to study is to get meaning out of the things that are written. I hope you understand. So I want you to come to this page again. Come here. Yeah. And now you see, what is it? This is brain. And the only thing that is it's going to do in the brain is to make ATP. And what is it? I just want you to make this thing. You see that? This. This is the first pathway of the glucose. That glucose is making carbon dioxide and ATP. Second thing, glucose, and make it green. Glucose is making glycogen. Wow. Third thing, glucose is making fatty acid. Fourth thing, glucose is making cholesterol. Okay. So what are the products of glucose in the liver? Energy, glycogen, fatty acid, cholesterol, and glucose. Right? And in the muscle, glucose again. Glucose is going to make ATP. And then glucose is also going to make glycogen. So glycogen synthesis takes place on two places. Liver and muscles. Liver and muscles. How are fatty acids exported out of the liver? In the form of VLDL, this is important. Okay, and chylomicrons are coming from where? Intestines. Right? Lymphatic system. Remember? Yeah. And this glucose in the adipose tissue is also, this is the two important functions of the glucose in the adipose tissue, to make glycerol and to make ATP. Alright? What is Cori cycle? The transfer of lactate from the red blood cells to the liver and their conversion back to pyruvate. You see that? Pyruvate to pyruvate. Journey of pyruvate to pyruvate. This is Cori cycle. So one page with a lot of information. And I wish you should spend some time on it. Right? So it finishes here. See here? But what meanings do we get from the picture? This is important. Artists understand and value the picture. For me, that picture may be just nothing, but for someone, it can be $1 million. So that $1 million, if you are kind of medical student, and here important note: in medicine, we don't want you to be biochemist, or anatomist, or physiologist, or pharmacologist, but you should know the basic essential principles for these things. And these are the essential principles. If you don't understand these principles, we won't be able to appreciate the overall metabolism. So understanding these things are essential. Essential. Alright, fine, understand. So next we move towards the starving state. You have not eaten anything in the past 16 hours, the past 18 hours. And what's happening with your body? Right? Right. Move towards the next place. Ding ding, ding ding, ding ding, ding ding. Shut it off.